Okay. All right. Hello.
Hey everybody.
Let's get right into the game. So we are joined today by Arades, Joseph, whatever you know him by. He is the programmer. He has done programming on the game. Um, just about just about everything you see. Uh, just about. So very very busy guy.
It's been fun. It's been awesome. Yeah, it's our very first game ever, and we all kind of did uh, career changes in a way to kind of make this come to life, which was even cooler, made it more exciting, honestly. So I've been loving it so far, and we've gotten such a good response from everybody. It's just love my life right now. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep Sasha's over there as our shopkeeper. So today, first thing we're going to be doing is diving into Rite of Mourning. Of course, we need to gear up first because I'm scared. I'll be honest. I am fully expecting that it's not going to go too well. But first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let my officers rest. I think they are going to be okay. I actually have no idea what heroes I have in the realm. Okay. We have enough, right? What level? Level 6 to 15?
15, yeah, 15. But take a look at your combat score as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Recommended
Recommended
combat was
250,
250.
and yeah, I mean we have nerfed it
Yeah.
3 times, so
Yeah, so I'm almost certain I'm going to wipe. So we need these people to get to 15. Should be okay. So by the time I get gear, maybe they'll be close enough. Let me take a look here. Um,
do the drop down for combat. Sort of my comment.
yeah, I don't think I want to show that.
How ready are you? I mean, honestly, hey, you got 224. That's a good one.
yeah, good one. That's the tank too, so he should be all right. Um, I mean, we hammered out Hallows Fall really well. Let me see.
I, yeah, I think with custom dungeons now, it opens up like a whole new possibility for how low you could actually be to clear these.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, especially Bion. I think you were there at the start when it was at its peak,
it's most
and
difficult. Literally
yeah, that
everybody
was
died there.
some of the screenshots from that was amazing. Oh my god,
Okay,
it's like
let me go ahead and do.
87 deaths,
Yep,
one clear.
I am going to get a Hallows Fall group going. I'm gonna send. Let's see. Dang, how did Goodwin pass Udrek? That's crazy.
I know, right? I feel like you've been focusing on Udruk too,
Yeah,
but maybe he has some XP gain in there.
yeah, it had to be
I think
something
I do
crazy.
need to nerf XP gain a little bit. It like if you stack it on, it really does affect your game a lot, especially with merchant skills. Going in.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I don't want to take
yeah.
Goodwin on a separate run. I mean,
Tawny Mine kind of snuck up on everybody there a little bit. It was when we actually changed some of the way combat works, and that ended up actually being way harder than original like version. So yeah, and it's one of those three mans that don't necessarily require
oh, I see.
um, the tank and the healer. So we did take that out for the three man. So I think that's where a lot of the wipes do come from, is these DPS grouping with each other, getting overconfident, and just going down. So um,
Okay, fine.
yeah, I was tempted to keep the composition requirements there for a little bit with even like the three mans, but um, I don't know. That's still in the works. we might even just get 3 mans, get rid of them entirely. But still working on the balance for sure with a lot of things. You're just gonna be grinding Howl's Fall here for a while.
Yeah, I want to get at least a run in here to.
Mhm.
I guess he could be the off tank. Bold Dust can be the off tank for Rite Mourning. We'll try and get him some levels. All right. Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do here. How I want to level these people up. I'm also going to put up a quest for Hallow's Fall. Oops.
Before you forget, barrel of fish.
Oh, yes. Actually, I'll do Snicker Sneeze so that people start grinding. Yeah, so we also want to make sure we get the fish buffs active for everybody. Which right now, they make a pretty decent difference, especially as you get higher level. So Red Mourning is absolutely the time that I always like to use fish buffs first. And I do have a barrel of fish here through the King's Vault. So we'll claim that. Hopefully get some good buffs. Buff fish.
Just saying though, you said you were gonna save your vault tokens, and you're down to 1.
I know. This is your fault, man.
No, there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. I really think like some actual good buffs could be the difference between life and death.
100%.
Especially that first Rite Mourning, which is really scary.
Got XP, energy. Okay, we have 1 good buff fish,
mana,
and ability
That's
power.
awesome.
Okay.
Killing power ability.
The haste is going to be great. I'm going to give that to Udruk for sure. That should help.
You could probably target a little bit more, defensives for Goodwin.
Yeah, I need to get
a healer yet. You got the ability power for Sasha's.
Well, she's not going. She's going to stay back and tend to the shop.
Power level. No, when this is one of those moments though that really kind of drove us to wanting more control over the experience of the heroes and the level of the heroes in your realm. There's so many different things, and the pace between all the different heroes can be so different, especially after like a big wipe or something like that. You kind of want to bring balance back to the world, and that's why we made experience tokens, or wanted to introduce experience tokens in the game. But we wanted to give a feature that would be from the merchant's perspective, and really your actions driving the whole health of the realm, realistically. So with you being able to, anything that you do can get more experience tokens, which leads to higher level, stronger heroes, and really just keeping everything going. You are like just a shopkeeper, but you can literally change the entire realm by really focusing on these different features that we're going to put in. It's interesting that you say that. I feel like with custom dungeons, if I'm not mistaken, you would be able to send Sasha's into Tawny Mine right now. Can you try real quick?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she can definitely go.
Yeah. So that is one of the reasons why we wanted to do custom dungeons was specifically for that, the power leveling situation. I mean, another reason why we don't want these wipes, this permadeath to be so detrimental to the overall gameplay. It's like, yeah, I can see people rage quitting, but if we give these small things, and especially that res scroll that I mentioned in Discord the other day, I was thinking about that a little bit more. I think I want to make it just a small chance for it to show up. I even talked to Tommy about this. A small chance for it to show up each week.
Yeah, and that's going to probably come in hand in hand with the graveyard, because that's something that we've been wanting to put in for a while, was a graveyard that shows all the dead heroes, world heroes, officers, everything. And
Yeah,
once,
snapshot of how they died, what they had.
yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, you would forget if it's a while, unless it was like your main officer that went tragically, then that's gonna stay with you for a while. But yeah, so
ooh, this
definitely
could be
being
weird.
able to bring them back, that's always been um, something that we've been bringing up pretty consistently. But yeah, having like a 10% chance or so every week and making it cost more vault tokens than anything else I could possibly buy. I think I want to stay around 10, maybe
Yeah,
10 or
something that would
more.
take a couple of weeks to work toward. You know, difficult to
Right.
get, but really, really valuable to have. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Because like me when I play, working towards that tier three in each of the categories, I think, you know, I really like the idle sense of the game and being able to relax. But if you really want to push and get some really awesome things in the game, the King's Vault is a great way to do that. So at least staying focused on the different categories and the different achievements that can progress your game will be awesome.
Hmm. Dang, that's gonna be good.
For some reason, the quality is still doing that weird thing, Tommy, with me.
With what? Oh,
It's
it's
like,
yeah. I checked the bot and it wasn't. Didn't seem to have any issues. Um,
that would be hilarious. But he's the Ogre Slayer. Revenge is sweet type buff.
strategic deaths so that you can
Yeah,
strengthen them.
strategic death. I love that.
Get all this in one place so I can really see what I can craft. So I want to get them as ready as possible.
By the way, I crafted some war staffs
This book,
the other day.
it's just called Cats.
Cats. It's got haste and move speed. I
Yep,
mean,
that's
it's
what
perfect.
cats do.
Your book naming is
I had so
amazing.
much fun naming those books, man. It was like one of my favorite things. And there's so many too. Did I put all my
Exactly.
gear in here? No, just materials. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things. Like, it's funny that you're talking about that red scroll and the different strategies that can come up from anything, really. And that's one of the goals that we had with the game. Really was when people see this and they're playing the game, it's like, man, I wish I could do this, and we can say, okay, sure, let's make it so you can do that, and literally just implement it, and it goes into the game, and you're good to go. So that's definitely why this feedback has been so awesome. We've gotten so many awesome recommendations from people who have played the game, and even things that we haven't even thought of. And it's just like, holy smokes, that would be so cool. And then we just throw it in there, and that actually happened because I mean we have a roadmap posted, but it's funny if you look at it. It seems like I mean we did most of it. I think a good amount of it, but the direction that we wanted to go initially changed so much once we got to the point where people started giving that feedback. Um, anyway, I'm gonna focus a little bit on trying to figure out what I can craft here. So let me get the materials going. Actually, the compounds,
Yeah.
because yeah, I'm really
Yeah,
nervous.
we absolutely want visual battles. Something we've been talking about for a long time with the dungeons. I mean, the running joke, uh, behind the scenes is we can't wait to make this in an actual MMO, where we're actually going into each dungeon. Obviously, if we get enough success, anything is possible. But yeah, as far as more visual battles and everything like that, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am kind of happy where the combat is right now. There's a lot of crazy things that can happen in combat. And we saw it yesterday with the rare spawn fight, and I've seen so many insane plays by these AI heroes. Just it's so fun to watch. If you guys haven't actually like seen a really close battle, I definitely recommend it. Getting to know the abilities knowing these life-saving abilities that they do for each other and stuff. It's really cool seeing it brought to life. But yeah, having a bigger view, with them moving around or effects and yeah, bringing all of the stuff that's actually happening to life, because we didn't really skimp on the combat AI there. I mean, there really is a lot going on, and this is only basically like a fifth, a tenth of the actual amount of abilities that's going to be in the game.
Oh
So
yeah.
once we go more in depth with that and give talent trees and the training grounds to learn those 4 and 5 star abilities for those 4 and 5 star heroes, and yeah, it's gonna get awesome. Yeah, we're a lot more in depth. A lot of strategy is going to be needed for some of these challenges that we're going to present. So it's been really really cool. So no movement right now, um, and it's not even there. There could be movement. The only thing that's keeping us basically from like an open world MMO combat right now is that range is not a factor. Is the only thing. But they're constantly casting, constantly looking for abilities. Um, while they're casting, if one of their heroes, dips below a certain amount of health, they'll stop their cast. They'll go and heal them. The one hero will call out for help. Um, there's stuns, there's silences, there's smoke bombs to make them dodge or resist. There's divine shields, which will absorb all types of damage. There's obviously physical and magic damage. We're actually going to be introducing another damage type, which is hybrid damage. So that's going to be really interesting. Going to be a rework of Scrapper Rogue. It's going to be turned into mostly a hybrid damage spec that will affect ward and armor, and we're actually going to rename them as well. More classes, character, and customization in the future. Absolutely.
Tons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots.
We went down 8 or 9. Was it 8 or 10 classes that we had originally? I think it was 8, and we went down to 4. So definitely more classes. I was really tempted to put in more character customization, just even on the last patch, with things like hair color, skin color, outfit color, that kind of stuff. That all is 100% going to be in the game. I think character customization is important with any game that you can create a character. I mean, it really gets you more in touch with your officers and feels like they're an extension of your gameplay. I just think it's really important. I absolutely love character customization. So yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, we do have a lot more. Uh, did
No, you're good.
my, my mic went out. Yeah, we do have a lot of other outfits and stuff that's kind of in the background. They're there. Don't worry. We do want to introduce more and more customization, especially for things like the merchant. That green is going to get old after a while. Um, but yeah, have no fear. That is absolutely on the board. We really are just kind of we're trying to get. It was such a different feel for the game. We had to kind of come up with a lot of new weird things that we weren't able to go to all the games we played before and be like, well, how did they do it? What worked? We had to kind of create a lot of new things with this game, and I'm just glad people are liking it, because we had no idea if people would. to be honest. I mean, man, it's weird. Like NPCs really don't do anything. Like, how do they get the the quests out? Where do the rewards come from? How are like quest givers are so weird. And then that was our original game, was being a quest giver and a shopkeeper. And I'm like, there's so many questions we have when we're taking on their perspective. They're like, none of what they do makes sense, and now we have to make sense of it. So yeah, it's been fun for sure.
Man, I cannot get Omega 9.
Yeah, I know. We need more artists. All right, it's just us. It's okay. All right, we got a good amount in. I promise. We have a whole other city that's waiting for you guys.
Ooh, man, I
Um,
cannot wait to show them Stonehaven.
is it visible right now?
I know part of it is the foundation, a little bit of a castle wall they're hiding, but if you go over
Yeah.
here, I believe it's just empty. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome, to be honest. Whoa, that's a good book for
Yeah.
astronomy
Yeah.
through the ages.
Yeah. I agree with both of you. Like we know that this is still unique, and people are gonna like. We've gotten a lot of feedback where they start the game and they're like, okay, this isn't what I thought at all. This feels weird. I don't like it. It's gonna happen. Um, yeah, new sometimes is just kind of scary for people. I totally am on board with that. I mean, I've been playing almost solely WoW for the last like what 12, 13 years. I don't even know how long. I'm definitely one of those people that I just stick to it, like the familiar and what feels cozy and nostalgic to me. So I totally get that. Um, but yeah, I think that we've gone, familiar enough in different aspects of the game where they can find things that they do like, and then that's the thing I want to give. That's the reason why I have the 5 different categories. Is you know, people just might hate the idea of the combat overall, so we have to find other things that they might like. Other like that are also fun, that are also as in depth and they can enjoy. So we're really trying to round out every single path that they could possibly have, and just have it this game where however you want to play is the right way to play, and they might all have different benefits to them. And is there a best way? I mean, we'll find out for sure. Um, yeah, we were actually talking a little bit before the stream started about achievements, Steam achievements that we wanna put in, and some of the crazy ones, like beating Unjera or the last raid of the game, whatever it might be at that point, without a single death in the realm. And at first we were like, okay, that's impossible, right? Like, there's no way that that could possibly happen. Um, but actually, we started like theory crafting a little bit, and you think it actually might be with, sending a hero to go cover every one of the world mobs, because that's one of the biggest threats to some of the lobies that want to go random places. You can't control what they're doing. Um, they want to go see what a Cherokee looks like for some reason, and talk with a Moss Ogre. Um, but you can, at that point, when you unlock that stage in the game, you can kind of lock that down with your officers by sending them to hunt these ogres, and really, neutralize the world threat. So now that the world threat is gone, all you have to worry about is a dungeon threat. And then if you really, really focus on getting the one-off dungeons like Wolf Den, Carapace Cove, Hallow's Fall, the ones that are before the dungeons that unlock the next stage, then you can get those dungeons to like rank 5, for instance, And now, anytime that dungeon is cleared, they're going to give you quality 5 items. Really great items for all of these heroes, plus with your crafting as a merchant. So that anytime that they do that, they're going to be way more powerful than they would have been um, into these raids, into these harder dungeons. And I think it might be possible. There might also be some micromanaging with starting a custom dungeon for um, heroes that are trying to queue up for, let's say, a really like a combat level 200 uh, hero is trying to queue up for Rite of Mourning, and you were saying no, you're gonna die. You can start a custom dungeon, invite them to your group, and redirect them. So there are these weird ways to actually kind of control what the world heroes do as well, but it's just kind of so crazy. Theory crafting there, it might be possible. Uh, Trying to run a party they shouldn't and getting themselves killed. Yeah. So yeah, that would be the only way right now. I'm not saying that we might um, we might add more to make that possible though, because I really do like the thought of that challenge. I think it would probably be one of the hardest ones
Yeah.
to do. I mean, that's full realm control. It's like pretty intimidating there for sure.
Yeah, definitely possible though. Some of the strategies, and that's the kind of the interesting thing about the game is when you first start it, things happen and you just don't really know why, and you don't know what you can do about it and how to stop it. And when it first started out, there were some points that we wanted in the game that we missed a little bit. As far as like Moss Ogres is a good example. They used to be right on the path, patrolling it, and the idea was, obviously, you don't want your every single world hero just walking over there and getting killed. So you need to be strong enough to keep them under control. But then that ended up being kind of annoying, right? Like you don't want to constantly have to keep one area on your radar. So we moved them back behind Injera Keep, and they're still picking people off. So finally a shield. So yeah, that was definitely kind of a learning situation there. We do still want things like very special resources in the world that will be guarded by these powerful things that you need to kill before you send somebody to mine it, because they're probably going to die if you don't. We still want those kinds of things to exist, but at the same time, we also don't want it to be a same Moss Ogre situation where it's literally everybody just running up and getting themselves killed right away. So lots to play around with there still, and I cannot get a good shield for the life of me. It's driving me nuts.
Armory, God.
Yeah, the armory is going to be awesome.
Every time I watch you play, I'm like, I wish he had the armory right now.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite features. I think it's gonna be so awesome.
Shield.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the things that we could do with the armory. If you guys haven't heard that, but to touch on what you said, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 100%, and then there's gonna be a rare spawn that comes and snipes a Lobby right at the very end before the last break clear.
Ruin the run.
Gonna happen. But yeah, with the armory, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this because yeah, it's gonna be a way to look up every item in the game that's available to you. You can look up by item slot. And there's this one statistic that I actually am really excited about, and showing the percent optimization for your hero, right? So you can look at what they're currently geared with, feel good about it, but then it's going to show you 20% optimization at the bottom, because it's going to be scaled off what is the best possible gear for that hero at that time. So it's going to be scouring all of the loot in the world, showing you the best. And I think me personally, I love seeing that kind of stuff in games. Yeah, really trying to optimize and min max everything. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool being able to get like 100% optimization hero, and then he levels and he goes down to like 75. But having that for a brief moment would be awesome. Ooh, Mother Wolf.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a ring from her.
Nice.
But I really want this recipe to come up so badly.
Oh, painted buckler.
Yeah, so
Mm.
badly.
Did you? You bought all those scrolls. Did you use all of them?
Yeah, yeah. I got a lot of really good later game stuff, but I didn't get any good superior tier two,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But oh, I have a
I'm
couple of misses
thinking
actually.
about kind of reworking a little bit how the scrolls work slightly.
Yeah,
Just because like if you use a unique scroll, having it be a chance that it just gives an insane amount of experience to one of the lower tiers, I think would be pretty cool. Um, yeah, still a lot to talk about there.
and if he was selling superior, I'd buy those. I don't need common anymore. Gosh, man.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, I don't want it to be tier specific. I think it
Yeah,
feels better, which is being a general, this gives you this amount of experience. I think that feels better overall. But yeah, yeah, we'll have to talk about that a little bit more.
what I'm hoping for is I'm saving my money, and I get a particular traveling merchant, um, and potentially get some really good items there. But yeah, right now I'm kind of stalling because what we need is we need the rest of these heroes to catch up.
Mm,
So they're all really close, and then once they're ready, Rite of Mourning, and then we'll wipe, and then I'll just run around aimlessly on my merchant.
What's your what's your achievements looking like?
Well, pretty obviously combatant
Oh,
is good.
Saka, you got some gold coming up next.
Yeah,
Um,
3 3 3. So my ambassador is definitely hurting.
go to the achievements panel and see what you can do. One more discovery, you can get that.
Freaking Sasha's complaining about being tired, and all she does is walk around the shop all day.
Hard.
Lazy, lazy, lazy.
Says customer.
Oh, you're still looking at that? Yeah,
Hmm.
it's right now it's a
Yeah,
matter of
honestly, that's one of the best ways because equipment chests could be huge
yeah,
for you at this point. It could give you exactly what you need. It's one of those ways like equipment chests, material bundles. If you're looking for something specific, I think yeah, just bringing up the achievements panel, seeing what's close or what you could get done pretty quick, and focusing on that is a great way to keep your game progressing for sure.
yeah. There's so much that can be done, right? Like as far as getting good at the game and getting geared up, but there's so much that you can do that it's like, wait, what do I do? And that's always what you turn to here is open up your goals, see where you're currently standing. So right now, if I do another combatant tier, I'll get more gold. But my ambassador is only tier one. My mercantile is three. Craftsman three. Director three. So these are pretty decent. Three's pretty good. But obviously, I want to work an ambassador. So I come over here, I check the goals, and I look at the ambassador category, and I can do any of these things to increase that. And it looks like, honestly, a lot of them are pretty close. So complete a favor, increase your level, increase your guild
Ooh,
members level.
that gathering node rank up would be huge for you.
Oh yeah, that would be. I
Um,
actually want to level up the teak.
and your
Do a
favors
favor.
too. Favors will be
I
big.
already have one for Collector Jones. I only have one for Collector Jones. Okay. Um,
Oh, you're already done with that? 5 out of 2.
yep. So I can
Nice.
use him for some mass XP. So this is a good preview of the what's the feature? The merchant skills, um,
Hmm.
where essentially you're going to be able to, man, collect these XP tokens and use them. Ooh, you want to talk about it while I try and get these people geared?
Merchant skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely some inspiration from like RuneScape for sure. Is just basically honing in all your skills, having this 99 set, full skilled merchant. Um, but yeah, we wanted to focus on, okay, like with gear, for instance, um, what is the most important thing to the merchant? That's what we kind of wanted to answer. And realistically, it can change so heavily between what officers you have, what's your current state of the game, what, you know, just what's going on at that point. Your entire realm can change if you have a full wipe. Um, yeah, it's just a lot of different things that could be happening in your game where we couldn't really answer that question. But the one thing that we decided that everyone would want is more XP for the heroes. Being able to level them up on your own, feel like you're really contributing to, their power level. Like, so I think experience tokens is one of those things that I know I would want to just get as many as I possibly could. Just have thousands, not even spend them on anybody, just collect them for myself. But yeah, and also it's a great teaching tool for people where they can go to the skill tree. You can discover a new skill and see exactly what you can do to level up that skill. We're gonna have sub goals in each skill. That's gonna be these harder achievements within each skill. Like for instance, with like the blacksmith, you're gonna have to get a tier 5 craft at the blacksmith, right? That's one of the sub goals for the skills that's going to give you bigger rewards. It might not always be um, XP tokens. I think we're going to be having 3 different kind of tiers of them: uh, smaller, large, and extra large, basically. Um, and maybe even some that are mass hero tokens, where they will give XP to every single hero in the realm. That's definitely going to be the main focus of merchant skills. Yeah, kind of keeping that main. This is the goal of the game, is to get stronger heroes in your realm and defeat the enemies. And kind of routing that through merchant skills, I think felt really good for us when we were talking about it. Obviously, I hope it does for you guys too. But yeah, that's going to be really exciting. I think, yeah, it's just this progression that's just going to always feel good with, these constant minor goals. As before, when we didn't have a lot of these features in, it did feel a lot more idle, which isn't necessarily bad. A lot of people do like idle games, but I always wanted something that you could always work on, and this is going to be one of those features that you always can fall back on, and know that you're working towards the goal that you're supposed to be working on. So yeah, I absolutely love it. And weirdly, see, it took the lead of merchant exploration. We thought merchant exploration honestly was going to be like the runaway. It was in the lead um yesterday, and then yeah, checking today, merchant skills kind of took over.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really happy about it because that is the one feature I'm working on in the background right now. So gives me a little bit of a head start on that. But I think it's gonna be really, really cool for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, well, I'm not sure if you may have been the one in Discord um, to talk about that with like the tavern and the bard. I absolutely love that. I think that was a really, really great thing. One thing about this world is we have an insane amount of buildings. They're all custom buildings. We had specific uses for every single building that we made. Um, it's not just sorry, my mic keeps coming out. It's not just thrown together random stuff. We had a purpose for every single city when we laid it out. So absolutely being able to kind of that's a big thing with town reputation is what we wanted to get into the quartermasters and everything. Whenever you discover a new city, you meet the people of that city. You um, get in touch with the different NPCs there. You you build up your reputation. You go through different storylines with each one, and maybe eventually being able to meet them as the merchant. Being able to go over there, they might send a wagon, send some VIP travel over to these new cities, and um, yeah, that's when you can start growing kind of your wealth, maybe some passive income for the merchant, or just unlocking new features. Yeah, and one of the ones that we do have um, fully kind of talked about in the background was like the training grounds. Um, Being able to send heroes to these training grounds to actually learn new abilities based on their star ranking. So that's a big one that we've kind of concluded that we do want in for sure. Um, so that is definitely going to be one. We do think it's going to be in core. Um, so yeah, being able to like really focus on star ranking, getting your hero to that 5-star hero, and then learning that ability that can do a mass stun, no target limit, or mass heal, no target limit, like these crazy, dungeon changing abilities that you will probably need for some of these later on, or elite dungeons that we're going to be adding in, or the endless dungeon that we're going to be adding in. So yeah, full progression on that. But yeah, just more of those. Definitely the tavern. Um, Being able to even go and eat there, or take your heroes along with you. The follow command, getting you more in touch with your officers and feeling like you're going through the journey together. I really want the follow command in as well, so that I don't know. I want to personally go and have a fishing trip with all of my officers at the docks, all fishing together, hanging out as guild.
I even talked about that for
So
a while, being able to get your officers to follow you and pitch in and help with everything that you end up doing. And yeah, it's cool that it's finally on the task list officially.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, definitely having some seasonal buildings. We'll have some snow coming in. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining. Um, yeah, I think we definitely will be doing streams in the future. We had 3 set out for this week, but definitely more in the future. We just haven't set those dates yet. So yeah, definitely thanks for joining. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the just talk a little bit more about the building progression, because that's something that has been in the works for a while. Talked about since the beginning, since day one of coming up with everything we can for this game, and we love the idea. The shop that you're actually seeing here, by the time the game is done, this is going to be like kind of a mid-level shop. It's going to start out a little bit smaller, smaller version. You're going to be able to upgrade it, level it up, get all kinds of different benefits as you do so. And then, eventually your shop's just going to be this massive, amazing store. And we can't really put it here because it is kind of a small space. Some people know this, some people don't, but Terrafel, where we are right now, this is not actually the intended starting town. This is just kind of a midway trading town in Chapter 1. So there's everything that we see. If we look at the map here, everything that we have here on the right side that goes all the way down here. I haven't discovered this yet, but it goes all the way over here to the right. It's just this huge zone. You have core over here as well. That's only the second half of chapter 1. We have a whole huge plan for the first half of chapter 1, which is going to essentially double the game is in terms of zones there are, dungeons there are, quests, and everything. So there is still a lot to come in that respect. But once we get Stonehaven in, that's your new starting area, and it's going to be there's going to be vendors there. You're going to have all kinds of this really really cool things that you will be able to um, upgrade, keep track of, reputations you can work on, little reasons to explore as a merchant, to go out and do all this crazy stuff. So Stonehaven itself is going to be, I mean, honestly, Stonehaven is probably a game in itself when it really comes down to it.
Yeah, even just the layout. We already got the layout kind of built. We basically made Stonehaven. It's just there's just a lot kind of going in, and we wanted well-rounded out game features that everyone loved before really concreting that place. But yeah, just the whole economy of Stonehaven is just really really cool to see. I want to get in and give them a tour and everything of it, how it's going to work, where you're going to be versus the others. And yeah, like the one feature, I think we've mentioned it before, so I'll go ahead and say it, but the Coliseum in Stonehaven is definitely going to be amazing. I mean, yeah, you guys got to see it. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. It's going to add so many different layers to the game where, you know, right now you're doing quite a bit in Terrafell. You're running around crafting, fishing, you're doing all this different stuff, but there is going to be a lot that you can also do with the merchant as well. And the other really, really huge change to coming to the game is the merchant talent tree. And essentially what you're going to be able to do there is, as you're leveling up, add these skill points to all these different talents that are going to completely change the way that your game is played. It's going to add just a ridiculous amount of focus, where if you, for some insane reason, love fishing like crazy, you're going to be able to do fishing basically solely, and you're going to have automatic fishing happening. You're going to have your own manual fishing with all kinds of crazy bonuses, and there's so much getting added in terms of each individual feature, especially if you look at these categories, these 5 different ways to play. You're going to essentially be able to spec into 1, maybe 2, and each one's going to unlock a brand new feature, brand new way to play the game, and there's really a lot coming around the merchant talent tree. And of course, the first half of chapter 1, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 new little towns and cities that you can go with. Well, 5 if you count Stonehaven. So 5 new towns and cities, a new trading hub. So right now, if we take a look at the game, Terrafell is kind of right in the middle. That's the trading hub that goes to the east of Stonehaven, but there's also going to be another town that's the trading hub going west. And there's going to be so much between those and then beyond those. I think I've mentioned it every single time I've talked about it, but this map that we see right now, including the whole Black Forest area right now that we're playing in, is about 1/8 of the map size for the foreseeable future, and then about 1/16 of the full map size whenever we are done with the game, basically. So there is a ridiculous amount still on the way. So we're super excited for, you know, we keep saying we're so excited to show you guys, and we really, really are, because it's kind of a crazy amount of stuff coming. And the cool thing is the way that it's been coded. I think hopefully it's been kind of displayed, but you know, we'll say, hey, we have this one feature that we want to do, and then 2 days later, Arades is like, okay, it's done, patch is live, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, we just put up that poll for the 4 features. You know, which one do you want added? And each one of them is pretty big, pretty impactful. And I think your estimate right now was 2 to 3 weeks to get them all done and in. Of course, barring any kind of silly circumstances. But well, you are going on a little trip, so maybe 3 to 4 weeks. But yeah, so doing something like that, just those 4 features, but that's along with these small little changes that we're going to be adding in every patch as well. We did some counting, and in the first month, we did over 30 content and optimization patches, and that was pretty mind-blowing for us. We were like, hold up, is that real? And then we went and we checked the Steam builds, and sure enough, it was pretty insane. But we want to find like a good flow. And one of the things that was actually brought up in the Discord was, um, maybe we do less but larger patches instead. And we're still kind of trying to find the right flow for that. So definitely feedback on that, on what you guys would enjoy most. Do you like to have these consistent smaller patches, or would you rather see a little bit less, every week or two, with one larger patch that introduces multiple new things? And it's kind of an interesting conversation there, because of course there's going to be a mix. Some people would be like, no, give us, the moment it's done, give it to us. And then some would be like, no, every few weeks, give us a nice big patch. And we're curious to hear what you guys think about that, what you would like to see the most. I think after this dungeon is done, I should have the heroes that I need to go do Rite of Mourning.
Yeah.
And go wipe.
I think definitely with me, like whenever we do add a new feature that I know is fun, I know people would like, especially talking to you guys in the Discord every day, and hearing your feedback. And yeah, I really love seeing you guys being able to experience new things that we're working on, and hearing more from you as it goes on. So that's why we've been doing these consistent updates, some of them small, some of them large, but yeah, I really love the game, and I love seeing it evolve. And I think a lot of people that have been playing since release do too. So that's my main thing, is I just want to get it to you guys as fast as possible, so you can kind of just play with it and feel it out, and give us your feedback on it, because yeah, the feedback has really evolved a lot, for sure. And yeah, the ambitiousness, that's an understatement. I mean, when we first started talking about the game, Tommy made 6 expansions for some reason.
I don't know why I did that. It's up to 9 or 11 now, by the way.
Yeah. He just doesn't stop. So that is 100% on him. I don't know any of that.
I'm sorry. Everybody keeps telling me to stop, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't stop.
So, yeah. In 2082, we'll be releasing.
Expansion number 67.
No.
But yeah, and that's funny, because when it first started out, and I think I talked about this on the first stream or something, but when it first started out, we were sitting in a room kind of just randomly talking about these different games, Dwarf Fortress, World of Warcraft, and all these different design processes, because we knew we wanted to make a game. And we had a really interesting kind of a puzzle game in mind. But then, we started talking about this, and it turned into something that was a little bit bigger, because we were like, puzzle game, 3 to 4 months. And they're like, let's do this game. Let's give it, 6 to 8 months, and let's talk about what we can do in that time frame. And we had a really good plan laid out, and it was much more of an idle, kind of a top-down, 2D almost, like that 2.5D kind of thing. But then we got this really cool contracted artist, and he just started pumping out this really, really great stuff. And we're like, man, what we could do with this is that, and with this we can do that. And then here we are, 3 years later, still in early access, and it's like, well, what have we done? And then of course, the planning, it's so easy for this game. And I think anybody who plays it, you'll realize how easy it is to say, man, this would be cool, or man, this would be cool. And that's happening. Yeah, exactly. Classic game dev is 100% the situation here. But of course, we had some outside voices saying, okay, stop, get a feature freeze and stop. Because Joseph and I, Arades and I, we get caught up, and you should, like, our meetings, you're like, hey, can you get on for a quick few minutes? And then 4 hours later, we're still talking about what features would be cool and the best way to implement them. And yeah, realistically, we are at a point now, and I think it feels pretty cool, where there's still, some lingering bugs. I don't know if you guys caught it earlier, but I had to save and exit because the heroes kind of stopped running, and something happened there, and that's something that we are still, it is still happening every now and then. Most of them, if you save, go back to the main menu, come back in, they'll get fixed. But there are a few lingering things that we are trying to track down to really nail it. Every single patch we get a little bit more and more fixed. But realistically, we are pretty dang close to the point where it's like, okay, all we're going to be doing is looking forward. What are we going to plan? What are we going to add? And that's why we were able to do our first poll and start really pushing out, like, what is it that we're going to work on next and how is it going to look? And the cool thing is, something that we talk about a lot is the development cycle here. And a lot of games, when you get a new feature, it's like, okay, give us 4 weeks to do it, give us 5 weeks to do it. And with this, it's a lot less, and the turnaround time is so much smaller. And we have this really, really cool opportunity where, we're in early access. We're a very, very small team. How are we going to get this insanely ambitious project pushed out? And it's because of the way the foundation has been coded. It's really easy to alter. It's really easy to add. And to add on to that, of course, we want to also include mod support, where we develop people who, if they have their own idea, get the mod support tools, make it. Feel free to add it, and then we're going to have our own little section where you can download and play with all these different things. So we really want it to be a community-driven game, and we have a vision, we have our ideas, but we're not going to think of everything, and that's been proven time and time again already, just in the Discord with different ideas that people are throwing at us. And yeah, we really, really are loving the ideas that we're getting, and being able to add them in so quickly is a good testament to how well the foundation has been laid for the coding of this game, because it really is quick. So right now, early access, we've all seen it. We've all played games that have been in early access, and they're in early access for 3, 4, 5 years, and it's like, what are you doing? That's not going to happen here, which is pretty crazy. We have a set goal of the set features that we want for launch. And, I don't want to give dates. Obviously, we're not ready to give dates, but it's not going to be a year, 2 year, 3 year thing. It's gonna be relatively quick. That will, relatively quick, quote unquote, that we'll be able to get out of this. Okay, good. They're gonna finish this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
And then I can go
Yeah.
wipe.
And then there's like, we are still having bugs, obviously. But there are ways that we could make this really kind of simple, straightforward, really easy game to kind of make bug free, right? But we didn't want to skimp on anything. We wanted the heroes to be thinking like regular MMO players. We want a huge 3D world that they can go and they can do these random things, and kind of just we wanted it to be as real as possible. So with that, obviously, with their AI, they can kind of do some crazy things from time to time. So we definitely want to keep on working through that, but it is going to be a long, drawn-out process to get every possible scenario kind of covered. It's a lot better than what we released. So we are making progress for sure. But yeah, definitely going to be an ongoing thing for a while.
That is for sure. 2 reverence healers.
Nice.
I don't know how I feel about that, but we will.
Yeah, you need that burst healing for sure.
Yeah, I wanted a reverence and an astro, but nobody's there. Elemental.
Definitely preservation.
I'm wondering who I should fill the last 2 in with. Maybe I just go based on.
Oh,
so Deathseeker can come. Yeah, I think an extra Deadeye would actually help quite a bit.
Yeah, another smoke bomb.
Okay, let's go white.
Did you do your buffs?
I did not check their energy. I haven't buffed them yet. Actually, I want to give this buff to. Oh wait, no, we want the haste fish for him. Eat that. XP gain. Mana we'll give to Udruk. We have XP. Ward, we'll give that to. Wait, what did I give him? I give him hate.
Yeah, you can check on the well-fed buff.
Yeah, where did it? Where's the well-fed buff now?
For Udruk?
Oh, I didn't feed him yet. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't feed him yet.
That had me tripping. Okay, so I'll give him ward. I'll give him armor. Okay. Might as well give him some healing power.
Yeah, you got ability power, healing power.
Ability power, go for.
Think mana. You already gave mana.
Yeah. Ooh, I have health too.
Mm-hmm.
Keep clicking the portrait. Okay, that is good. They are buffed. They are ready to die. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to go. It just got buffed, by the way, so I'm just going to use that as a little disclaimer. It didn't get buffed by a lot, but let's just go ahead and say it got buffed enough that that is the reason that I'm going to die and nothing else. Has nothing to do with my lack of paying attention to the gear like I should.
We do need to add in as well. There's going to be another one where you add in the fish that you want for all of your group. You can feed them, give them a buffet before going in.
Yeah.
So that,
Speaking of which, I meant to check their energies. They should all be mostly good. Ooh. Our elemental is out. So yeah, situations like that, you're going to be able to feed them. It's going to be a custom group feast. So, okay, only one person.
If you bring up your inventory, can you
who was it?
Feed them when you bring up Stormfight?
Uh-oh, here we go. Let's see.
There's a Lucky Bottom feeder down there.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't have. Where did my energy fish go? Did I eat them all?
Down.
Oh, there we go. Wait,
down.
She's full energy. Who am I? Who is?
You're gotta go to Stormfight.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay, that helps.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't like this wave 1 and already good one's taking some damage. But we got some healers.
Hey, those heals have actually come in clutch so far.
Healer just got wrecked.
Oh my god.
So did a mage. Okay, so after the wipe, we are going to give some very.
Hey, you're okay. You're alright. You're gonna beat this wave.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe I'm already 2 down. 3. Cool. I'm gonna go. Oh wait, no, she's still shopkeeping. Good. Yeah. So the other interesting thing is this could just be a really difficult wave as well, right? So they'll get resurrected. We'll go back into it. If they die again, just for clarity, for those who don't know, if they die again, they will stay dead. There is a dungeon mechanic here that, oh no, it's a really, really tough wave. 2 distortion.
God.
3, my bad.
Dude, that negation went down so fast.
Yeah, there's some good damage going out. Yeah, elemental's already down.
Oh god.
Pulling aggro. Yeah, pulled too much aggro. Got wiped. Healer even. Well, Whitley is dead officially. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is one of those situations where if we had the armory in and you could look at how optimized your heroes are, chances are my heroes are like 20-30% optimized at best. Nothing great, because every single hero here is just using the basic gear. I have not been posting things for sale. I have not been leveling up my dungeons. I've not been doing what I should do in order to make sure that they got through this successful. And this was one of the situations where a lot of people early on, even before we nerfed it, because this is nerfed and then rebuffed, and we do have a big balance pass coming where not only are we going to change the difficulty of the dungeons and mobs and everything, but we're also going to change how some of the classes work. Their abilities are going to be different. They're going to function a little bit different. So there's a lot that is going to change with the balance pass. It's going to be a more difficult game, but it's going to be, yeah, rest in peace, Whitley. He was in my guild. He was my guild healer. Moment of silence for Whitley. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty rough. I mean, they were dying right at the start anyway, so we'll
Yeah,
see how it goes.
yeah. It
We
is
still
still
got
possible.
stuns, you know.
We don't have any distortions here. Distortions are a champion kind of mob, and
Oh no. Okay, yeah.
there goes the other healer.
Irreverence.
Yeah, the other
Irreverence
healer.
went
That's why
down.
I wanted an Astro. I wanted an Astro because Astros do a lot more heal over time, whereas Reverence does burst. I wanted to get that third healer, but we just didn't have it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, this is a wiped on wave 3. Everybody's gonna be dead except Sasha's. So Sasha's is still gonna be able to handle the shop.
Hey, hey,
Hey, I
got it.
mean, you gotta look at the you gotta look at the bright side. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um,
Yeah,
that is
absolutely. Like the so the different kinds of modes with the game, we did want to kind of get close to full feature um for full release and then go into the modes. Um so yeah, that is going to be kind of pushed back a little bit till we get, we have those four different features, and then I think one other feature we want to do as well. But after those, I mean, we're looking at pure data. I mean, we want to put in more rare spawns, more adventures, more things for people to do, craft recipes, items, that kind of stuff. But yeah, once we start getting into those kind of things, absolutely those different modes are going to be going in for everybody, because yeah, you're definitely not the first to ask about the non-permadeath.
yeah.
Some people just don't really like that, and that's totally fine. So yeah, that will be coming after that. I want to say rough estimate probably mm, 2 months or so before that would be fully in, maybe a month and a half.
Yeah, and that's going to include
um,
it's going to include a lot more than just no permadeath, because we're going to have
yeah.
a full custom game mode where essentially if you want to just play and not have to worry about much and just kind of chill and play the game, then it is definitely going to be doable. Custom game mode is going to add all kinds of different features and different ways that you can completely modify it. Like, do you want to run super speed, and do you want to literally just be invincible? So you're going to be able to make the game that you want to play with custom game modes. I'm
Mhm.
going to go ahead and switch scenes here real quick. No particular reason, just doing something here to uh, don't listen to the sounds that are happening. Nothing cool is happening. It's just normal stuff. Everything's fine.
But yeah, one of the things, with that non-permadeath, that could be one of those that we do push up the list for sure. It is kind of an easier mode to put in. Realistically, it's just, they would go through the rebirth, and then after their death, they would maybe get teleported to the town, go through some kind of resurrection timer for a day or so, and then just go on their way. So realistically, yes, that is one of the easier modes to put in. Um, we can definitely talk about that and keep that open. If that's something that is keeping people from playing the game because they just absolutely hate that their characters die permadeath, and it's keeping people from playing, that's obviously one thing that I want to immediately get rid of. I want everybody to play and have fun with the way that they want to. So yeah, absolutely. If that's something that's keeping you from playing the game, definitely let us know that. Like, hey, this is terrible. I hate that they die and don't come back. Please do something. Chapel hospital type. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's as simple as it is, right? I mean, it's your biggest concern. Okay, yeah, that's really great to know, because we did want it to be punishing. We wanted to put a bunch of things that make it okay for the player. Tommy's just over there hacking. Um, we wanted to make those things kind of okay, but I totally get it. Like, hardcore modes, I never play in games.
Yeah.
It's just like I want to be attached to these. I want that progression, and I want to continue to have that progression. I don't want to get set back at any point. So I absolutely get it. So, if that's your biggest concern, we can definitely do it. Um, name the heroes as well. Yeah, so you wanted to name world heroes as well as your officers, like any kind of guild hero, being able to change their name. If so, yeah, we could definitely add that in as well. That's another one of those easy things to do.
Yeah, so we
Uh,
talked about this a little bit yesterday on
yeah.
stream about
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So you can name the custom heroes that you make for your officer slots. You can name them. Right now,
Yeah.
that's it though. But of course, we are open to the idea of just letting you have full control over your realm.
Hmm.
But yeah, so this is what I was talking about yesterday. We talked about one of the features that we put on the poll is being able to do more merchant exploration, and it looked kind of silly, right? It looked silly where I'm literally jumping through rocks and I'm jumping 8 times higher than my own height, and it looks silly and it plays kind of silly. But we found it to be more fun. You know, we were like, should we make this more realistic and restricted? And it's like, nah, let's just let them go crazy for a little bit, and you know, you end up being able to do some pretty silly things, and we want to actually capitalize on that. You know, make a situation where the game is we're not trying to take ourselves too seriously, and that's why we want to have the custom game option. We want to make a game that people can play. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenges. You're going to die. You're going to have wipes like I just did. That's going to happen. But as you learn, as you get better and better, the game will get easier and easier. But of course, you know, some people don't want to go through that hardcore process that we're talking about, where if you lose a hero, you lose the hero and it's the game's over, right? But so we want the different options available. Oh my gosh, that's exactly so. What you're doing right now definitely gives me old school WoW vibes, where you can see people trying to wall jump and sneak into places where they shouldn't be. So one of our favorite ones was actually Joseph and I. We spent hours. We found that where the oops, I got hit. The wall around Stormwind, you can jump up and climb up the side, and then there was like
Stormwind was
an
good. I
invisible
remember
path that went all the
hitting
way across.
on top of Ironforge for the first time. Was like, I don't know why that's imprinted in my
It's
memory.
just there, man. And that's 100%. It's funny you say that because that's literally the exact motive for what we're doing here. And it's like, let's just let it get a little bit weird, let it get a little bit wild. And, you know, it's a game for fun. Like, why would we take away the things that are fun to do, regardless of how silly they are, you know? And that's exactly where this feature comes. Like, you know, we want to put even Zelda. If you think about Zelda games, like, where it doesn't make any
Oh,
sense, but just there's just invisible things, platforms that you can run on, and we want to make all kinds of little obstacle courses that you can run and just have a really really good time finding these silly things and eventually mastering that course and being able to fully time it and get all the rewards from it. And um, yeah, that's definitely one of the things that is our motivation. There is
yeah,
the WoW wall jumping, because we
yeah.
spent a ridiculous amount of time doing that.
It was so fun, and yes, capture some time getting in there. You felt like you were just cheating. It was so cool, like being into these unreleased places. I mean, we have unreleased places, so
Yeah.
yeah, being able to figure out a way to get there, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Lava jumping every time.
Yeah, I remember having to
Well,
solo the I think it was a mount quest on my warlock, and there was that specific path where okay, now jump down here, swim through the lava, and there were so many different tricks that you had to do to actually solo it, and yeah, it was
yeah,
yeah. So
that kind of jankiness, that brokenness, about games is some of my favorite
yeah,
things,
it's
honestly.
a little bit of charm, and you know even the floppy jump if you've unlocked it, like
Oh god.
we can fix that. But we don't
Yeah.
want to. We don't want to fix it. Like it gives the Night Elf flip vibes, where it's like
Uh,
he just starts going crazy. Oh, what's happened here? I gotta fix this. It's supposed to be a platformer.
oh,
But yeah, and then there's just so much that you know, we have the serious side of the game, but then we also want that silly. You're just messing around, and you know we can spend hours just running around. I'm gonna get knocked out and go to Czar and show one of my favorite current shortcuts, and then I think we'll probably wrap up there. You know, we got a good wipe in. Gets knocked out. this is all going to be part of the merchant exploration thing. That is coming. I think at this point, it looks like merchant skills might win the poll, but
Hmm.
merchant exploration will be second, and that is actually kind of perfect. Right now, you're working a lot on the skills. I'm doing some stuff for the exploration, and it's going to come together pretty quickly. So we might even end up saying, okay, let's just do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, so who knows? Definitely going to be fun, but just to show another example of how
Yeah, and
ridiculous the jumping is.
honestly, I think it was mentioned by someone in Discord that they just want all four features.
Yeah.
And I think what we might do as well is once we start getting these features done, pushing it to the beta, and just letting people know, hey, this is in the beta. If anyone wants to play this,
Yeah.
um, then go ahead on the beta. We have a passcode right now, but anyone that wants to mess around with these new features, you can get in and play that now, and then do whatever.
Um,
Um,
Discord getting stuck, unable to play a game because of a bug. Not sure if it's the same issues. Yeah, so there was a loading screen bug, and that has definitely been fixed. It's kind of a tricky bug because we'll fix it and then we'll put out a patch and then it'll just kind of come back every now and then. But Joseph's he's
yeah,
so good at it now.
every time that happens now, it was tricky at the start. Now I know exactly
Yeah.
what would cause that. So yeah, we actually haven't had any stuck at loading bugs. I think honestly the biggest best moment for me that's happened so far. I don't know if he's in the stream or not, but we had a guy, Javi Pop, come into the Discord, and he's been actually crushing it. He didn't really ask any questions, and now he almost has all level 40 officers, just absolutely just killing the game. And he was asking if Keep was the last raid. And we're like, yeah, but it's
Early access.
just
Yeah.
early access. We have a lot more coming in. Even in early access, we have more raids that are going to go in and more towns and everything. So, there's more coming. And he said, "Oh, I forgot it was early access,"
Yeah.
and I don't know why, but that made me so happy. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, you just beat the game basically, and you didn't realize it was early access? Like that was like, yeah, almost made me cry. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was
I
very
didn't know if he was
awesome.
just being nice or what, but yeah, we've definitely come a long way. So a lot of the weird bugs, it can either be fixed. Oh my God, yeah, it was an awesome
Huge, huge,
moment for me.
huge.
That made everything the past 3 years. I mean, 16-hour days constantly, just all worth it. I mean, so happy. Uh, yeah, so that was great, great. Um, but yeah, a lot of the weird stuff. If anything weird happens, you can kind of either just press escape or save and reload, and everything will get fixed. So there are still those weird things, but it looks like all the game breaking bugs can be solved by a reload. So we're definitely at a good spot with as far as playability. I definitely actually feel proud about the state of the game, which has yeah, made me a lot happier for my day to day. So definitely a great moment. I feel really happy with the state of the game. But and then there's just really cool features on the horizon. Yeah, it's been really fun. I've been loving it so far.
This is my
So
favorite jump spot because you can literally just fly up this entire quarry, and it's like it's the most ridiculous thing. Okay, good. If you fall
that's
too long,
awesome.
you will be sent back home. So if you want to go home quickly, and you're far off, just find a nice cliff, jump off, and
Yeah,
you'll float back home basically.
I
Um,
haven't actually done that one. I have to go do that one. Yeah.
yeah, it's so satisfying and just weird.
But yeah,
Um,
Tufa's gonna be a big deal.
yeah, there will be a
Um,
lot around that feature for sure. It's gonna be awesome.
mm,
All right, I'm
yeah.
gonna jump around core as well. But yeah, I think I mean, is there any other before we call it? Any other questions that features coming or anything that you guys would want to hear or talk about before we do wrap up? This is going to be the last in this little 3-part series, but we do want to make it more regular to do streams.
Mhm.
Probably just opening it up whenever it feels right, instead of saying, hey, we're going to do it here for this long. Because I know
Mhm.
that the first 2 streams I was playing just for an hour, and the moment an hour hits, I'm like, hold up,
Mhm.
it's been an hour? So definitely a little bit more informal, a little bit more casual. So if you do want to see that, follow the stream, and then whenever we go live, of course, it'll be posted in Discord. And we're not going to tag everybody every single time, but we did want to give it out this time just to let people know that we are going to start doing this a little bit more regularly. It's going to be a lot more consistent, and we don't want to keep everything secret. Like, you guys have kind of heard a lot of things. There's some things that we don't want to spoil because it's going to be really cool to see, going to be a kind of a bigger deal. And of course, we're never going to give story spoilers because we actually do have quite an elaborate story that we want to fully implement into the game. It's going to be pretty involved,
and the lore is awesome.
Going to have some pretty dark moments too. So, you know, we have this nice, bright, shiny world, but there is some pretty crazy things happening. So yeah, there's a lot.
Summer's a little screwed up.
I've got some cool things happening, and well, I say cool, and people are probably going to report it to Steam, but that's all right. I think Steam will understand.
Yeah. There's crafting, and farming is going to actually be a merchant profession that we add in later. Nope. So we only have fishing as technically a merchant profession right now, but we're going to have farming, crafting are some of the ones that we've kind of confirmed, maybe alchemy. But yeah, so farming will be coming in later. So
I haven't even talked with you
a little bit down the road.
I haven't even talked with you yet about the alchemy things that I've written up. I think they're going to be so fun. How is this grass still here?
Nice.
Yeah, alchemy's going to be crazy.
It's working. But yeah, we're on sale till the 20th. But yeah, we couldn't help but let you go out into this world because it is awesome. And that was one of the main things, was like, we have this awesome, amazing world, and you guys haven't even seen Stonehaven, and we just want you to be able to go out there and just have fun. So merchant exploration is really just going to make it so you can go out and actually progress your game as well as just run around and do silly things.
Yeah, right now I'm not doing any progression. I'm just kind of showing off some stuff. Oh, is that too far? Okay, no. Yeah, so we're going to hide some tufa right here for sure.
That's actually a cool jump for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, alchemy. Alchemy is going to be huge. One thing, I don't know if anybody who's played Path of Exile, they have some really, really amazing crafting in that game, and that's going to be part of the inspiration. There's going to be 2 forms of alchemy. I mean, this is something we've kind of dabbled on. We haven't fully finalized it, but right now we're talking about a grappling hook. That would be insanely awesome.
That would be
I think that we can probably implement that, right? Like, activate grappling hook, click right there, and boom, you get blasted up there.
For sure.
But yeah, don't worry about it, Magic Puncher. This game is for all ages. But yeah, we have alchemy. So right now we're thinking 2 versions. There's going to be transmutation and potion making. Yes, Morrowind alchemy is amazing, and that's actually going to be pretty close. But yeah, combining the Path of Exile kind of crafting with transmutation, and then there's just so much. And that's the other great thing about the game, the way that it's been coded. It's like, okay, alchemy, it sounds like this huge elaborate feature, but it's like, okay, let's just let it in there, give these certain items that can modify gear. You can make these potions, you can make even potentially custom spells. There's just so much that can be done with that system, with the way that the game is written so far. And we fully plan on taking advantage of it as much as possible. So
where there is a little horse rink.
Yeah, little horse rink.
This is the horse town.
Should we get spoilers on that one? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious. Like, why would there be a horse stable there? Yeah. I mean, I figure that's probably enough of a hint at what that's for.
Yeah,
Neri. Yeah, this place is fun. There's going to be a little obstacle course here you can run with the merchant exploration and gather things. And yeah, there's just a ridiculous amount coming. And every bit of feedback is, every single dev says it, right? But legitimately every single bit of feedback, we'll mention it in our little message and say, yeah, this would be awesome. How can we make it work for the game? And then Joseph, being the psychopath that he is like, oh yeah, let me do that real quick. And then like patch comes out next day and it's like, here's this new feature, and it's like, holy smokes.
So
and that's kind of,
you psycho and you're calling me psycho.
Yeah, well,
all right,
game's gonna be a little bit wild. Yeah, whatever works really. I guess being psychotic works. But yeah, we do have just a ridiculous amount of plans.
Yeah, we both just like are obsessed with this game. I
Yeah.
mean, and anything
Oh,
that
nice.
you guys have to say, we're constantly checking. Yeah, it's fixed now.
Yeah, we didn't put that in the patch notes, dude.
Oh,
How
man.
are people gonna know that Neri typo was fixed, or not even typo? It was just a kind of a funny story.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, we absolutely embrace the crazy, and that's why no matter how uh, absurd the idea may seem, like Joseph was saying, we talked about the idea. Well, how long until this just becomes a full-on MMO? And it's like, yeah, that is because we are literally okay with just about any idea, adding in anything that sounds cool, sounds fun, and just going with it. So
Yeah, for a while they had to talk me out of just being able to grab a hero and throw him across the world.
yeah.
I was just gonna do it, but I mean,
He's been wanting that
game
feature for
modes.
so long.
I just sell merch. I mean, we have our shirts
Yeah,
on right
shirts
now.
and
Whatever can get us to the full release of the game.
yeah, yeah, merch. Yeah, there's definitely going to be once we get to the point where, again, the main focus right now is let's make the game perfect. Let's get the performance good. Let's get every feature working. Let's not get game-breaking bugs. Pretty much we're close. I'd say right now we're really, really close to that idea. But once we do evolve to the point where all we're doing is forward thinking, where it's okay, adding features, and that's all we're doing. Adding features, making sure they're not buggy. Adding a new feature, making sure that's not buggy, one at a time. Absolutely, we have. I know we have some hats already made. Plushie, merchant plushie would be awesome.
I don't know if
I
I'd want
mean,
to cuddle with a
you don't
merchant
want to
though.
cuddle with that guy? Look at him. He looks soft. Or how about you cuddle with this over here?
Yeah,
You want to cuddle with
I
the
don't know.
moss ogre?
Maybe a goblin.
Yeah, yeah. There's
She's
we.
pretty beautiful.
She's freaking massive, dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's already hats that some of us wear, and the shirts, and we like the logo that we have, and some of the characters that we're gonna put in, and yeah, there's gonna be
Uh,
a lot for the
yeah,
future.
that's a better idea. Just throw your plushie instead when your hero wipes.
Yep,
But
yeah, because
yeah,
that's definitely gonna there's some rage moments in this game. Holy,
yeah,
um,
we just want like basically building the craziest world you could possibly have. We are going to do another model push where we just have the absolute craziest models, skins, coming into your realm.
should we?
I mean, we've talked about just skeletons walking around. Right? Like we just want to make it crazy because you can. It's just your world, and you can make it whatever you want. So I think that's like my favorite part of it is there is no limits to
Yeah,
this at
yeah,
all, and that's why it's been so fun.
the rage moments. Yeah, they're definitely in there, but again, Joseph touched base on it well enough, so I won't go long on it. But we do have a lot of plans to make the game accessible and playable to literally every type of gamer. Um, so yeah, the custom games feature will
And
be huge.
I would say we have had some people that take a more cautious approach
Hmm.
to the game, and they have been making it through zero deaths.
Yeah,
Tommy obviously knew he was going to die going
yeah.
in right away.
I went in unprepared for absolute fact.
100%. And then there was enough, information to tell him that. We have been kind of making that clear. Like, we don't post, you are going to die, but there's definitely ways to tell. So yeah, we want, especially with your officers, the people that you invest time in. If if any of them do die, kind of your fault. So
Female
yeah,
shopkeeper, 100%. There will be. We there's going to be female shopkeepers. There's going to be ways to, like, he was mentioning skeletons running around. There's going to be different ways to acquire different hero models that aren't just human, ogre, dwarf, and that's something that we are going to continuously expand on.
yeah. I think we have about 15, 20 different merchant skins right now.
Yeah,
And there's just gonna, yeah, we're literally, once we get to a point, that's all we're gonna be focusing on is getting more customization features in. But yeah, just really feature pushing right now. balancing along the way, optimization along the way, obviously bug squashing. Um, but yeah, it's been an awesome time. We
Freaking,
love that. Can't believe we ended up getting up to like 20 viewers. That's so cool.
yeah.
So yeah, thank you all seriously for coming in and hanging with us. It's been really fun. Loving this game so far, and the community that it's brought to us
Yeah, it's been
is
so
really cool.
surprising how well it's been received because again, we conceived the idea and we were like, are people going to like this game at all? Ah, that cliff wasn't big enough. I was trying to teleport myself back home. And we had no idea, but we are getting some great feedback. We're getting that negative feedback too, and they're both equally as valuable. You know, things that we need to fix. And you know, we were saying at the beginning, there's people who are like, oh, I don't want to say this. Somebody already said it, and it's like, no, say it, because the
Mm-hmm.
more we hear it, the more we know it's a focal point. So even if you know you see somebody who gives a great big list of feedback, and it's like, yeah, I agree with all of this. Say you agree with all of it. You know, talk about it, and really, that should be big enough. Yes. Really, nail it into our heads because we do have a lot that we want to do, but we also want to know what you guys want us to do. What do you want to see added to the game? Um, because so far the ideas have been awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
And seriously, thank you guys so much.
yeah.
It's been awesome.
Yeah. So join the Discord. Talk with us there or the Steam community. I pay a lot of attention to that, and I will chat with you there for sure. If you don't want to join Discord, if you want to use Twitter, follow us there at Merchants Guide K, or X, I think it's called now. You know, whatever it's called. Follow us there. That is where we will give every notification will be done through there. So follow us all there. Keep chatting with us. We'll keep chatting with you guys. This is not something that we're going to develop and then abandon. This is something we are in this for the long haul. We have so many amazing plans. Like I said, there's 11 expansions planned. We're going to make sure they're all fully accessible and playable and cool. It's not going to be locked behind some crazy price range or anything like that. We want the game to be accessible. We want as many people playing as possible. There we go. This is what I've been waiting for is my dang King's Vault.
Turley.
Turley just showed up?
Turley.
Oh, dang, I missed it. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of shopping, but yeah, we are going to be wrapping up here after I take a look at this, see what I got, spend all my money.
Yeah, I mean, you have nothing to
Nothing.
save it up for anymore.
Yeah, since all of my heroes are dead.
I'm just totally joking. He can get he can get everything back really fast.
Yeah.
Now we're like scaring Celedonia out of this.
Paid expansions, we're
Uh,
actually not quite sure. We know that we want to make them, but we do have we haven't really talked too much about how we're going to monetize things. We are going to have cosmetics, but we you're going to be able to earn them through just playing the game like at a reasonable rate. Let me do some gambling here real quick first. I'm just going to sell everything because I need to, you know. So, but we haven't really quite yet nailed down exactly how we're going to be monetizing everything. Obviously, we were going to make sure it's fair. We're going to make sure it's fun. But yeah, we're not quite sure. Yeah, and even if we do have cosmetic, you know, if we have paid cosmetics, if it's going to be you can buy it or you can earn the currency in game. We even talked about the merchant talent tree having a way to spec into earning the premium currency. So
yeah,
there's all kind. We're going to make sure it's actually fair, and there's going to be exclude. You know, not everything you can buy. There's going to be things you have to win it, basically earn it in the game. So we are going to make sure that it is fun. We've seen all these terrible monetization practices. Some of them more recently. I don't want to name any names, but you know, there's definitely a lot of things that we have not been happy with. Yeah, exactly. Real life merchant talent. Okay, this is a huge gamble. Holy. But yeah, we want to make sure it's fair. We want to make sure it's fun. We want to make sure that you're getting rewarded for playing the game above everything else. Okay, so I'm about to gamble. Anybody who hasn't seen this feature, basically, I'm selling this stuff to a traveling merchant for 1286 gold, but I can roll some dice. These traveling merchants are basically gambling systems. And what I'm doing now is I'm rolling some dice. If I roll a 1, 30% gets taken off the sale. If I roll a 4, nothing happens. 630, I get 2 dice. And if we get a matching number, we get a double or nothing. So potentially I could get, you know, way more than double my gold here. So I think I've won once out of 5 times that I've rolled since streaming.
You're
So
just bad
I'm just
at it
really bad at
though.
dice, man. I
Yeah.
gotta up my luck.
Click better.
Yeah, they've been clicking too soft. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So, nice, simple roll with the dice. I won some extra bonus, 30% extra. And again, this could have been huge, but I will take it. It wasn't negative. I'm happy
That
with
is
that.
awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'm
That's
happy with
huge.
that. Like, I have not won anything well through him
Yep.
yet.
That's like covers almost all of your purchases if you
Yeah,
wanted to make it.
yeah, exactly. So now we also have Turley. So there's 5 different traveling merchants. They'll show
I
up kind of
would
randomly.
create your officers first.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
that.
I think.
Well, you still have the one, right?
Yeah, I still have Sasha's. Oops.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You
she's
just
here.
try to gear up Sasha's.
Yeah. So there's 5 merchants. I'm glad I got Turley. He's the one I wanted before Rite of Mourning, and probably could have won if I did it before. But basically, each one you get some gambling charges. They can be super beneficial and super not. Let's see. Speaking of super not, actually, I mean, spent gold, got 50 gold of value. I'll take that.
Yeah.
My weapon. Ooh, yeah. You see, things like this can happen where I got a piece of gear that is way later down the road.
Wow.
Huge health, a champion sword. That's pretty huge.
Same.
Let's go for a ring. 11 gold. Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's a reasonable one. I can actually use that pretty quickly.
Nice.
Cast speed and mana.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, really
Wow.
good. Dang it.
Haste, cast speed, and mana.
Scarf. Last one. Dang. Cast speed. Look at that. 100 move speed, too.
Oh,
So,
gee.
quick note for
And
anybody who
gather
also
speed.
doesn't know, that little 2-star thing, that means that this item could potentially have rolled 3 different stats, right? It can roll cast speed, ability power, and haste, or whatever. But it actually rolled cast speed 3 times. So this is actually 3 times more cast speed that you can typically get on an item in this general range. So if you're really, really focusing one stat, or you can even get one stat rolls twice and then the other one rolls once. And there's all kinds of really interesting combinations here. And we are going to have some ways to mix and match, some ways to modify it, craft it. And a lot of crazy stuff. I'm out of charges here, though, and I still came out on top because of that gamble. So Turley actually worked out quite well. Actually, believe it or not, right now, this is actually one of the skins for the merchant as well. A little bit smaller, and so is Braun. Braun, we're actually, all these crafts people are going to have their own unique skins at some point. For now, we're just using, this is another merchant skin. This guy who just literally falls asleep wherever he wants. And then
He's still paying attention to it here,
Yeah.
at least. I mean,
it's like, yeah, we can fix this. But do we actually want to? Elves 100% on the horizon. I don't know if you, yeah, you here, but when I was running around Core, that really colorful, the rounded roof area, that's actually going to be specifically an elf city. You know, maybe down the road when there's actually elves inhabiting it, but yeah, we have
yeah.
several races
4
planned.
elves and their magic fruit.
Yeah, they're magic fruit. And where's the
That's
dwarf?
what
So
it's based on.
the thing I'm most excited for is how wild we can get here, because it's not, you know, in a typical MMO, you have to keep certain standards. You have to not go too crazy. But if you look at this, like seeing how small this dwarf is, like, yeah, she's really, really little. But we have plans for a race that's going to be about half as tall. Literally going to be little dots running around the map, basically. And then, you know, if you look at the ogres as well, they're pretty big. Right now, the female ogre is the biggest model in the game, but we have, you know, essentially probably about 50% larger than that planned. We're going to go pretty wild. We have some really, really cool things that we want to do in the future, and it's just going to be totally ridiculous, but very, very deep fantasy, crazy stuff happening, and a lot of kind of silly stuff. Yeah, exactly. Those, you know, unintentional, hilarious bugs are great. Maybe not professional, but fun. 100%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's what we want.
We're not AAA.
Yeah.
We will never be able to even come close. But you know,
Yeah.
we can just have fun and make a game that's fun.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
break
like-
anything. It's a little silly, but you know, if it gives you a good laugh and you move on with your life, we kind of accomplished our goal there. But yeah, on that note, I think we'll go ahead and call it.
Nice.
Again,
Thank you.
follow the stream, follow the Twitter/X, join the Discord, chat with us on Steam community, wherever it is that you like to talk. We want to talk about it. We love this game. We're going to keep going as much as we possibly can, as fast as we possibly can, just getting stuff out to you and continuing to evolve. Yes, 10 out of 10 from the kitten. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? We can leave early access now. The kitten gave us a 10 out of 10. All right, official game launch is now.
Very good.
But yeah, again, thank you for joining. We're going to go ahead and sign out. But again, we are always reachable through any of those things that we mentioned. So throw us your ideas, give us your thoughts, and we love to hear it. But we will see you guys. We'll let you know when the streams are starting, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Bye, everybody.
See you later,
Thanks for
everybody.
coming.
Thanks for joining.